Al McMorty, Ron Romanelli, Brian Bitler, and Jovan Bertz, and who knows who's going to show up late. But usually someone does. But we've got a full crowd. Of course, last day before the Major League Baseball All-Star break. Are they doing the ESPYs this year during the All-Star break? I mean, you want to talk about the most insignificant event that there is. Let's find like the most worthless crap, and maybe if we stick on a day that there's absolutely nothing, people watch that instead of Married at First Sight. You got no chance, against it's like Married at First Sight here for me on Wednesday. There'll be no ESPYs. Anyways,
I don't like any award show, honestly. That's just me.
Well, got Chris Ruffalo, the birthday boy here. Chris, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
What kind of cake was it this year?
Honestly, I don't know. It's probably waiting for me when I get home, so I'll have to keep you updated on that one.
All right, I'm interested. We got Al McMorty, turned down $440 million from the Washington Nationals to be here today. Just figured, well, he needs at least 441. I don't know how Soto could possibly make ends meet off 440, to be honest with you. And it's like, oh, but if he holds out for the new TV deal, he'll get more money. I got news for you. If 440 doesn't do it for you, you got bigger problems than money can solve. That's all I got to say. And it's like, there's something to be said about, believe me, I'm a risk taker, right? I love taking the big dog and, taking the big risk and all this sort of stuff. I mean, I make big bets, right? I mean, that's what I'm known for, but I don't know. 440, bird in the hand, guaranteed money. What do you think, Al?
If he thinks that money's always going to be there, then take a risk. I don't know. I don't like to spend someone else's money, so I let them make their own decisions. Is the way I look at it.
Well, Ron Romanelli here with us of Rundown fame. A lot of people think that Ron should have just a full free pick open line hotline where you can just call Ron and throw in a podcast, maybe another show, and actually start his own television network on top of it all. Ron, any of these things in the future for you, because your audience seems to think that you can be everywhere for everyone at once and do it all for free.
Well, I think I need to get a new car first because right now I'm carless. So, but yeah, I mean, the rundown, the Bitler calls them the Romanelli X, right? They're in full force. Sometimes I'm speechless with them. So I guess I got no words, but I definitely appreciate their support.
You give him an inch, take a mile. Brian, yesterday was the anti-Bitler day. It was 14 favorites and a dog.
I'll tell you what, I say that this is my worst day of the year. That was probably one of the 3 worst days of the year that I've had. I've lost all my free picks. I lost my premium picks, and my YouTube premium was 1 and 2. So I had about as bad of a day as you could possibly have. So, but I'm here. I didn't take the day.
Of course, you don't get the capper flu or any of that stuff. You just keep showing up. No taking a pass today.
I am upset though. I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to like losing, but at least you show up. It's like you don't make up some excuse. About food poisoning.
I was out late and I drank too much. I can't make it today.
Food poisoning. Food poisoning always good. Jovan is here with us. Jovan, the Red Sox did not show up yesterday, 14-1 in the Bronx. It was not a good day for them, but it's always the beauty of baseball is 162 games. They all count the same. And Chris Sale back in the fold today. Red Sox probably going to have to make some moves here if they want to contend, or they got to be resigned to saying, you know what, it's not going to happen. I know you've been critical of Red Sox ownership. What do you think is going on here?
Not spending money, not spending money where it needs to be spent. Trying to get it on the cheap with retreads, on the pitching staff. Just not doing what it takes to win. They'll put together a competitive team, to save face. But as far as putting together a championship team. This isn't a championship caliber team. They'll make the playoffs or they should make the playoffs. Or they could fall flat on their face. Who knows? But they put together a squad that's good enough to make the playoffs, and then everything else is gravy for ownership right now. That's how I see. That's how I see it.
Well, if yesterday was anti-Bittler Day, it was Al Nino's Day. All the favorites, hitting on the board, and a lot of those big run lines with negative odds that Al loves so much paid. So it wasn't. I guess the at a certain point the beatings have to cease, and yesterday was your day. What do you think?
Yeah, I was on the one dog that came through too, though. So take a little credit for that one as well. But yeah, I mean, favorites looked good, matchups looked good yesterday. So there was some really well priced favorites too. I thought. I mean, a couple overpriced ones as well, but I actually stayed away from those big favorites yesterday. But yeah, it was a pretty good day for me.
Anyways, well, we've got plenty of games today in action, and not the Angels and the Dodgers. Why aren't the Angels and Dodgers playing today? Which is weird, right?
Angels flew the white flag. They gave up. They're giving up this.
They were doing that 2-game interleague stuff, and they didn't want to carry it over for another day or something.
Yeah, but it's weird on a Sunday to not have a.
Oh no, I know. Yeah.
To not have games, right? It's just a strange
No
thing.
Sunday night baseball game either tonight. Just the 4:00 games.
Yeah, which makes it sort of like that game got canceled or something, right?
Yeah.
It kind of feels
Well,
like
I'm glad we don't have to watch that on prime time.
Well, we've got plenty of other games of teams that want to play. We call them the non-Tampa Bay Lightning teams. We've got the Kansas City Royals against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Washington Nationals taking on the Atlanta Braves. And that one was a big-time sweated out moment for a lot of people yesterday, taking the Braves at that minus 150 run line or whatever it was. And then the game stops for several hours in the 8th inning with the Braves comfortably ahead. And then you've got Shane Bieber minus 230 against the Tigers, who the Guardians, well, they've been beating the living crap out of this series. Ruffalo, who do you like?
For me, I'm going to go with that over 9 in that Kansas City-Toronto matchup. Chris Bubik, for me, has been pitching, as bad as his numbers would indicate. So I think Toronto can get to him for a few runs here, but I don't expect Jose Barrios to get out unscathed either. He has been pitching better at home, but I think the Royals can scratch off a few here. I love that game to get into double digits. And I'm going to take Detroit's team total under. We've already seen the Tigers get shut out twice in 3 games in this series, and batting a league worst 196 against right-handed pitching on the road this season. I think they're going to struggle with Shane Bieber here. I'm looking for a low-scoring Tigers output here. So give me the Detroit team total under.
How about you, Big Al?
Well, I think great minds think alike. I'm sort of thinking along the same lines as Chris here. I'm looking at the Toronto-Kansas City game, but I'm going to look at the run line instead of the total. I look at what Toronto's done since firing Charlie Montoyo. They've won 3 out of the 4 games, and in those 3 wins, they've scored 8, and 6 runs. And this coming from a team that never scored 6 or more runs in the last 11
can we talk
games.
about who they played in those games? Too. I mean,
we can. I mean, we can talk about anything really.
I mean, we could talk about winning games,
but they're also playing one of those teams today. So,
right,
it's not like they're going up against.
Oh, I understand, but if you bet them every single one of those games, you still have lost money.
No.
That's the issue here.
But all that matters is whether or not they win today. Anyway, it doesn't matter about those games.
Of course.
But so anyway, as I was trying to say, their offense is coming alive finally after not scoring 6 more runs over 11 straight games in the last 11 of Montoyo's tenure. And then you take a look at Jose Barrios and how he's done at home this year. They've won all 8 of his home starts, and his ERA at home is 3.40 this year, much better than his road ERA. As Chris alluded to, Chris Bubik's, been dreadful this year, 1-6 with I think a 6.75 ERA. So I like Toronto here, and I like the minus, the 1.5 runs at minus $1.55.
Romanelli, is it Bubik or Bubich? Because I thought it was Bubich, and because I've been doing son of a Bubich bit on our regular morning show, but it could be what up, Chris Bubiches, right? As well, because I know Ruffalo likes that.
I had assumed it was Bubich, but I deferred to Chris's pronunciation and just went with Bubich.
Pretty sure it's Bubich.
I'm pretty sure it's Bubich as well, but
I'll go with you guys. Majority rules.
Yeah.
Son of a Bubich.
I think it's Bubich, but
when he loses, son of a Bubich. When he wins, what up, Bubitches?
But yeah, in this slot, I like the Atlanta Braves to get another win and run line cover. I just think, even though we don't know who the starter is officially for the Nationals, Washington's is just in a really bad spot. Their bullpen has been overworked lately. Obviously, they don't have a starter listed, so they could be going with a bullpen game yet again, which is not going to be good. You look at projected WAR, the Nationals bullpen's ranked 29th in the league right now, so one of the weaker bullpens in the league that's been overworked. The lineup's not really doing much, and you've got a lineup in Atlanta that has arrested Ronald Acuna Jr. in it, and a team that's just been hitting home runs left and right. And you got Spencer Strider on the mound, who's been one of the more exciting young pitchers in the league, striking out a ton of batters, 2.56 ERA this season. This is a really bad spot for Atlanta. I expect them to be big favorites when the line comes out, and I think you'll lay extended run line here, 2.5, 3.5 runs.
14 in a row versus the National League for the Braves. Brian?
In this slot, which is a great slot, I hate to disagree with my favorite handicapper in the world, somebody I look up to, Big Al, but I'm going to have to take the Kansas City Royals. I'm going to take plus 2.5 here because it's only, I think it's minus 110. You've seen the Royals be competitive with the Blue Jays in 2 out of the first 3, beating them one of those times. And Barrios has pitched better recently, but he's not a guy that I trust at minus 335. I just think this is a one-run shootout here, and I'll take the 2.5 here. And the Blue Jays also at home, 18-30 on the run line. So here you're getting an extra run. So I'll take the 2.5.
If Toronto wins 6-4, we're both happy, Brian.
Exactly. Hey, that'd be great. That'd be perfect. I'll take it.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna run with the Braves like I did yesterday on the extended run line, 2.5. You know, the Washington's just in a bad way, and when your team that's down bad like them, you just gotta fade them. You know, going up against just clearly the better team. I'm also going to take the over in the KC Royals and Toronto Blue Jays game. See a similar game to yesterday where both teams were able to, you know, produce some runs. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it.
El Niño's coming off of El Niño's Day.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Blue Jays Royals game to go over. I'm pretty sure it's Bubic. Yeah, it looks like it's a Croatian name. Those usually are pronounced itch at the end. So I'll take our boy Bubic and the Blue Jays bullpen to help us get over this total.
All right. I like the Royals in this one against the Blue Jays. I like Bubic here in this spot. There's no way in the world I would lay that kind of money with Jose Barrios. It's called dead money. If you do that, he is not a minus 350 pitcher, and I don't care what he is. I like the first 5 over. I like the yes runs first inning. I like the Royals team total over as well in this game. I don't see it.
Too good to be true.
It is too good to be true. It is. They're giving away money in that one with the Royals. That 17-28 record on the road. I'm telling you, it's better than it looks on paper. I also like Shane Bieber today against the Tigers. I don't care what Nino says. Got the Yankees and the Red Sox. We've got the Rays and the Orioles. What a game that was last night, right? I mean, what a series this has been. And then you've got the Marlins against the Phillies. And Aaron Nola trying to look like the Nola he was a few years ago. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I like this time slot a lot, but I think my best play here is going to be the over 7.5 runs between the Red Sox and the Yankees. You know, we've seen the last 6 games between these two go over, and while I don't expect it to be as one-sided today as it was on Saturday, I think you know, the Red Sox can get to Garrett Cole here. They've gotten him to a 7.20 ERA in 2 starts against him this season. But I expect the Yankees to do some damage off of Chris Sale and the Boston bullpen as well. So give me the over 7.5 there. And I also like the Baltimore Orioles. Like you said, it's been a great series. And I think they're still giving us some value here. So give me the Orioles in that one.
You know, Mountcastle's a guy I struggle to figure him out. It just seems that he disappoints, and then a game like last night, he makes the big hit with 2 outs. You know, after the lousy pop fly made it look like the Rays were maybe out of the inning, and then all of a sudden the big hit, both runs score, and the Orioles continue on with the good vibes. Big Al, what do you think?
Well, you know, Chris just touched upon the fact that Garrett Cole, you know, hasn't really gotten out the Red Sox hitters this year. He's made 2 starts versus them, and he's given up, I think, 8 runs in 10 innings. But if you look at his career also, he's really not had much success against Boston in his career, 4.68 ERA in 14 starts. Conversely, Chris Sale in 19 starts has a 3.16 career ERA versus the Yankees. And yes, New York did win those 2 games that Garrett Cole pitched against Boston this year, both by identical 6-5 scores. And so that leads me to what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take Boston plus 1.5 runs with Chris Sale and take that at minus $1.10 or $1.20.
I heard Juan Soto said that if Cole got 9 years at $324 million, then 10 years or 15 for $440 is an insult to him.
Maybe he's thin-skinned. I don't know.
That's what he said.
I mean, you know, I'm like you. I mean, I'm sort of risk averse. I mean, if it was me, I would be taking the money and running.
Take the money, man. I mean, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I mean, in you know, and we don't get into politics, world economy, or any of those things, but I mean, has anyone filled up their gas tank lately? It's like, who the heck knows what's going to happen tomorrow? You know,
yeah.
It's like it's like 440 is. Say he gets, what's he get? I mean, this is like Bryce Harper when he turned down the money, right? It's like, so what's he gonna get? 480? You know, is that gonna make a difference to him? Is that gonna make any kind of material difference in your life?
But it might make it to his agent. I mean, who knows?
Maybe because his agent then says, well, I signed the biggest deal ever and I got, you know, so he gets more players in the future because his 10% at 48 million, 44 million. Oh my God. I think we should just have a cry a river party for him on it. You know, it's like, cause I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Maybe he doesn't want to play in Washington. Maybe that's
no. He wants to play. He wants to play in Washington. And now they're going to trade him, and hopefully they trade him to somewhere really lousy. But I know where he's going. I have a hunch as to where he's going to go.
Are you going to let us know?
Sure. Texas Rangers. They're always the guys that pick up this guy, right? Whenever there's a guy that has like that. He needs to have more money than God. Texas Rangers is the team that always picks him up. They paid Alfonso Soriano $30 million a year. Obviously, they have a pretty open checkbook. If you can do that, well, you know, it pretty much tells you. And where's he going to go? To the Cubs? Do you think they're ever going to sign another Jason Hayward type deal ever again after the debacle last time? I don't see it. So it's like there's only a few teams that are going to pay that. The Yankees are kind of outside of doing that these days. If you give this guy that kind of money, well, then what's Judge going to want? Because he's up for another contract. They got him on a short term now. But what's he going to want if you give this guy $500 million? He's going to want $1 billion. And, you know, and you're going to have to give it to him because you can't let him leave. It's basically like letting Mickey Mantle walk. If you do that. So, I mean, there's only limited options here. He can't go to Anaheim because they've already got $30 million a year on the books for Rendon. Trout, another 30. They got Ohtani there. They can't afford another, you know, $40-50 million guy. Where's he going to go? It's got to be Texas. It's the only place that fits the mold. It is the only team, maybe the Mets, but they've got tons of money wrapped up as well. Scherzer, Lindor makes big money. You know, it's like, I don't think they'll trade him within the division if they can get him to Texas, ship him off to Texas. That's where he's going. Anyways, mark it in your books. Mitch said it. I don't hear a lot of disagreement here either. It's like, what do you guys think? Does that make sense, or am I just talking a good argument?
No, it's too bad the Marlins aren't willing to pay a player like that because they got the pitching prospects to deal for him.
What I'll say is a couple things. First of all, I know the ladies aren't complaining at home, but I think the screen is stuck on El Niños on the YouTube.
Oh,
But,
sorry.
But regarding Soto, although it's a lot of money in total that he's turning down, when you look at the average annual payment that he's been getting per year, it's less than a lot of the players currently, like Max Scherzer's contract. I think it's only about $29 million per year, which is obviously a lot of money, but compared to other players in the league, I think Juan Soto is eventually going to be the best player in baseball. That's just what I've seen. He's young. He's already accomplished. He's already won a ring. And I don't know him personally, so I don't know if he wants to go to a competitive team or if he just wants the money. But in terms of what he could get per year, he's definitely going to be able to get more per year. So turning it down right now
From who?
Early in the game.
From who?
From plenty of teams.
Who?
I think plenty.
There's not plenty of teams. Who?
I think I think the Nationals can up their offer as well.
No, but who are the plenty of teams? Who has that kind of room? Who has that kind of room?
You just mentioned the Rangers. I think that wouldn't be a
That's
bad
one.
option.
That's the only team that it fits. The only one. What are you gonna? The other team that also picks up guys like this, and this would be what he deserves, is to go to Toronto. Have fun. They'll pay you in Canadian money. You enjoy yourself up there. That's the other place. Because there's nobody else that's where they ship George Springer off to. What, you think the Minnesota Twins are going to come up with Correa money again? I doubt it. It's like there's not enough teams out there that have that kind of money. And most of those teams that do have that kind of money are way invested. You can't have a $280 million payroll. And the teams that can afford, if they sign him, that's what they're looking at.
I still think teams would be able to move players out of the way. I mean, we don't know if the New York Yankees pass on Aaron Judge and if their opening is up.
That will never happen. Never.
We don't know what's going on with Aaron Judge. It's too early in the game for Juan Soto to sign a long-term contract with a team that started Paolo Espino yesterday. It's too early in the game. $440 million. It's not enough in terms of the other contracts that have been signed in the major leagues. He's getting less per year than Max Scherzer, who's what age, 37 years old. Soto's 23 or 22, and he's going to be one of the best outfielders in the league. He's going to be the next Mike Trout, in my opinion.
Kendrys
this guy's
Morales
a natural hitter.
You never heard of a guy named Kendrys Morales? You ever hear of him?
Oh, yes, of course.
All right. So Kendrys Morales.
Walk-off home run.
Yeah, the walk-off home run. Okay, Kendrys Morales. How about what was the guy, the pitcher? Joel Zamaya. You ever hear of him?
No.
All right. Joel Zamaya had about 120 mile an hour fastball. Okay. This guy was like basically unhittable. He was a reliever on the Detroit Tigers. Injured his arm playing Guitar Hero. Never pitched again. I'm telling you, take the frickin' money. You take the frickin' money. It's like someone says 440. You know what you say? I graciously accept your offer. You sign as soon as possible. You go on your merry way. There's no. It's like
you yourself said. You got to go for the big bucks. You go for the big hitters, and
440 is 440. You know what you say? That's pretty good. Hey, it's like you go. It's like
you say thank you.
You say thank you very much. It's like you go. So you go to the pancake breakfast, all you can eat breakfast, right? They've got the raffle for the TV set, right? And maybe you don't win the raffle to get the TV set, but you know what? You got a pretty damn good stack of pancakes. You take your stack, man. It's like that's what you do, man. It's like I think, and we're not talking about he's settling for $8 million a year or something. We're talking $440
it's a big contract,
million
but it's a 15-year contract. It's a 15-year contract.
Yeah. You think he's going to, if you're going to spend more than $440 million in 15 years, there's no contract in the world that's going to cover you. Trust me on that.
I think he can.
I've seen it come and go. I've seen a lot of people have it come and go. There's nothing that's going to cover it. Nothing.
When you look at the other contracts around the league, I think there was a list of players. I think Trevor Bauer was on there, Francisco Lindor. I mean, Juan Soto is
Bauer's not getting that money. Bauer's another guy. He's not getting that money.
but
Right.
he still got the contract.
Yeah, but he's not getting that money.
But he waited out for the big contract. Francisco Lindor is not worth. I mean, he's having a good season.
How many years was Bauer's contract? It certainly wasn't
I'm not sure,
440.
but Lindor was a long-time contract. Lindor was a long-term contract, and it's going to hurt the Mets in the future. He's having a good season this year, but last year it was
Lindor's
it was
contract
scary.
is $100 million less than this one.
I know, but
341
per year. Soto's very young. He's going to be able to play for quite some time.
Yeah, but
why take
it has
less money
50
per
million.
year?
It's more per year, but it has 50 million. So that's 5 million a year in deferral. So actually, it's less money than this. It's actually less. Anyways, what do you like in this slot?
All right. We'll talk about this more later. But I like the Philadelphia Phillies here. You look at Aaron Nola. You know, although he's struggling his last couple starts, I still think he's a better option. And when you look at the Marlins, I mean, they are just struggling offensively. They didn't score a run yesterday, I don't believe. And the offense didn't do much the game before against Kyle Gibson. So I just don't see how they're going to be able to do much against Nola here. He's got a 2.61 ERA on the road. Trevor Rogers having a really tough 2022 season. I like the Phillies to win this game again.
Brian?
I completely lost what I wanted to say in that long argument.
Do you accept your 440 million? Do you want?
Yeah, I would personally take it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Boston Red Sox stepped up and maybe
No
put something
chance. No chance. They're not in. They're out of this. The Red Sox are out of the spending business, and you're sitting right next to Jovan. He'll tell you.
I would.
They're way out of the spending business. Way out. They are not in the spending business.
If Mitch offers me $100 million, I'll take it. I'll sign a lifetime contract. There you go.
Let me.
$100 million.
How high can the check bounce?
All right, in this
I like
grouping
the,
of
I
games,
like the over.
I'm gonna normally I take yes runs first inning with Trevor Rogers, but I'm gonna take no runs first inning with Rogers and Nola going at it. And then Baltimore Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays. I'll take the Orioles. This line kind of looks like they're suckering me into taking Baltimore. But Lyles, my guy Jordan Lyles, is looking like he's starting to put it together. He's had some nice starts. I just think the price for Kluber is a little bit high. Orioles 9 out of 10. They've won. I'll take Baltimore here.
How about you, Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot with the Red Sox in this one for the outright win. It goes against some of the numbers. Yankees versus lefties recently. They've cracked ass. But I just think that the Red Sox can't afford to lose this game and go 3 games above 500. So I'm gonna take a shot with them at plus money with Chris Sale on the mound. Red Sox should get to Garrett Cole, and once it's left to the bullpens, all bets are off. So I'm gonna roll with the Red Sox, and I'm gonna roll with the Baltimore Orioles. Jordan Lyles, overall numbers aren't good, but recently his numbers are stellar. I believe a 1.93 ERA in his last 3 starts. So I'm gonna roll with them. I like their timely hitting, in their winning streak, which got snapped a couple of days ago, but they went back on the their winning ways yesterday. So I'm gonna roll with them.
So there's some comments here about my little rant here, and about he wants to play for a better team, whatever. He didn't demand a trade. He didn't say pay me or trade me or none of those things. He rejected the money, and the Nationals said, "Fine, we're going to start chopping you." That's how this story laid out. He didn't go and say, "I want to play for a better team than the Nationals," who just won the World Series a couple of years ago, which is a lot more recently than the Yankees or the Red Sox
But they're in trouble.
Or most of those teams.
The organization is done for quite some time.
One of the best builders of teams, that assembling of that team, including getting him, was one of the greatest assembling of teams you will ever see in the history of assembling teams. So I think when you have that kind of organization, they had some salary issues, they had some money issues, and I think when you have that, you have to dance around. Sometimes it's called you got to pay the piper, because they needed to do what it took to get over the top. They did that. They got Scherzer. They had choices to make. They paid Strasburg. I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but at the same time, he was the guy that, when the chips were on the table, he was the guy that put the trophy in the trophy case. I have no problem with that. You know, he at least has delivered the one World Series, which is more than we've seen in most of these other cities that we're talking about. So, but at the same time, you know, he's not, I wouldn't say, you know, just because they're lousy this year doesn't mean, you know, they're going to be lousy for a very long time. I mean, this is a team that, you know, certainly has, you know, you look at, you know, the Adam Eaton trade, you know, and you say, well, that was a bad trade, right? But you look at the trade that they got Soto on, you know.
Well, I mean, they have big time contracts right now with Strasburg, like you mentioned, and Patrick Corbin. Their organization's in trouble for quite some time, and when you're Soto, when you're playing this well, who knows where he's going to sign, and we'll have to see what the end contract is. But if he takes less money to go to a better competitor, then I think the conversation changes from he's a money hungry guy to he just wants to win. So I wouldn't, you know, nobody knows Soto or his agent personally, so I don't think we can speculate. But I would say that he's still getting less money per year than a lot of the stars in the league. And if I was him, I would take the $440 million. But you know what? I can't blame him because I think he's the next big talent in the league.
Washington, D.C., the number 9 TV market in the country. Al Niños, what do you got to say about this slot?
Yeah, pretty interesting slot, but I think my favorite play will be on the Phillies and Marlins to go over the total. I think Nola's got pretty good numbers. He's been getting hit a little bit lately, and well, Rogers, he's Trevor Rogers, so I think the Phillies are good for a few runs here.
All right, I like the Red Sox in that one. Chris Sale. I like the early first 5 Red Sox. I like the Yerfie, which has been straight money at Yankee Stadium too. That one, and let's see what else was in that slot. Lost my train of thought. I just don't understand. 440. Just take the freaking money. How hard is that? How hard is it? You know, it's like, my God. I also agree with what Brian said about that Phillies Marlins game. I think Trevor Rogers shows what he's worth, and maybe he's the guy. I think he's going to be the guy that gets traded from this Marlins pitching staff as they start to go out and grab some bats. I think yesterday it was kind of, you know, a message to some of these pitchers saying, you know what, we know this guy had a rough start, but you know what, we can wheel him out of the. We got so many pitchers, and it's like we're going to be able to wheel and deal. Anyways, Chris Ruffalo, what are you selling on your birthday?
Well, today I got my $15 pickoff play again. We got back on track. Now 8 of the last 9 we've hit, and hoping to make it 9 to 10 going into the All-Star break. So I got that $15 play. Or it's also part of my Sunday Slam Major League 3-pack, $40 at Pick Dogs Premium.
Al?
Yesterday we won our MLB division game of the month on the Yankees, although I wish we could have taken 12 of those runs and moved them over to Sunday. But, you know, it was a good day yesterday. That was our 5th straight winner, looking to rebound off a poor start to July. Today I've got my underdog of the month. We cashed our underdog of the month in June on the Astros over the Yankees, so don't miss my top dog for July. It goes today.
Romanelli, is your package today $440 million and 1 cent? Is that
Listen, I'd take $1 million for sure. But now today, July's also been a pretty tough month for me, and but we got back in the green yesterday with the winners, so hopefully do the same to end the first half of the season. My $15 MLB best bet.
How about you, Brian?
I'm going to get out of this 2-day funk that I'm in. I got my best bet just for a special price over at pickdogs.com, premium picks. But also, this is the week to get the year pass. I got it just $9.99.99, breaks down to $2.73 a day. So if you're into a good deal, make sure you check that out.
Christmas in July. Jovan?
Yeah, I got a 3-pack. Show Me the Money Sunday 3-pack. Also have the Laser Show, and a couple other single plays. So, you know, went 3-0 yesterday. I'm heating up. Last week, 11-6. You know, good plus money. So, you know, just trying to put it together.
El Niños.
Hey, I got my 3-pack. I got my best bet as well. That's included in that 3-pack, but I got that sold separately if you just want one big bet. And yeah, as always, get on the long-term passes for an even better deal. And yeah, I will be making all my Christmas and July specials right after the show.
Obviously, I can't do anything for the people that bought like the yearlies and stuff like that. The All-Star break is just part of the mix. But if you bought a weekly or a 3-day pass and you bought it over the last day on Thursday, please email me Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and I will extend your package. Don't email me like in a week after the fact or something like that and expect me to remember it, but or do the math on figure out how many days I had. But if you bought a weekly pass over the weekend, I know a lot of people did, and 3-day passes and stuff, just not knowing, because a lot of our cappers have been hitting. So a lot of people doing that. So just hit me up, Mitch@pickdogs.com. I have my big play today. I have a lot of other plays for people that are long-term subscribers. So see if we can hit some winners, which is always more fun than losing. Anyways, Houston Astros up against the A's. It's always tough to follow Verlander, probably like following, Elvis or something, Then you got the Twins against the White Sox. Earlier, the White Sox were the dogs here, but now it looks like they're favored with Dylan Cease on the mound against Chris Archer. And then the Cubs and the Mets, and the Cubs really kind of, the Mets kind of yesterday, both games kind of dangled that carrot in front of the Cubs, and just when the Cubs tried to get it, they kind of just kept pulling.
That was the story of my life yesterday in the game one. Just close, but not good enough.
So Brian making it too easy for him. I'm not going to say anything on that thing, but we'll let Chris Ruffalo have the floor for this birthday. What's up, Chris?
I'm probably going to go with the New York Mets here in a bit of a shocker play, but for me, the Cubs again, falling flat on their face, and they did show some fight. I'll give the Cubs that, but at the end of the day, showing fight doesn't matter in the win-loss column and going to the betting window. So I'm going to take the New York Mets there. David Peterson, solid option for the Mets, and I'm just not an Adrian Sampson fan, so give me the Mets in that one.
Big out.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm going to take the New York Mets here and go against the Cubs. Off those two extra inning losses yesterday. That's now 9 straight games. The two teams have almost mirror opposite records. 58 and 34 for the Mets, 34 and 57 for the Cubs. Cubs have been dreadful as a home underdog, 22 and 46 their last 78. So. And David Peterson, I think he's been, pitching really well this year. Been a bright spot in the rotation. So I'm going to take the Mets minus $1.30. I think the price is way too cheap.
Romanelli, I'm a known Cub hater, but I tell you this, Nico Horner is a pretty good player. I would take him on my team any day of the week.
Yeah, he is pretty solid. He was a big-time prospect, but kind of didn't pan out.
He's
but
fast, right? He's fast.
Oh, yeah. One of the fastest players. Yeah.
Fast.
But yeah, he was a big-time prospect, I think, with the White Sox, or I'm not sure, actually. He might have just stayed with the Cubs, but yeah, he's starting to pan out a little bit. But in this time slot, I do like the Astros here. I know it's a big price, and you're going to have negative odds on the run line, most likely. But Jake Odorizzi pitched really well against this Oakland A's team, and I mentioned on the rundown, he was able to strike out a lot of batters in that one, 7 Ks in 7 innings. And Odorizzi is his best when he's missing bats. He's just not a pitch-to-contact guy. He hasn't had success doing that. When he had his best year in Minnesota, it was because he struck out a ton of batters. And if he can continue missing bats like he did last time out, I think he'll have a lot of success in the second half of the season for Houston. He's got his ERA at 3.38 this year, so pitching well overall. And I think going up against Aller and the A's bullpen, a good spot for the Astros bats to do some damage. I like the Astros here, land the 1.5.
Brian?
Yeah, if I would have been able to get this White Sox line in earlier, it'd definitely be a premium play for me. I love even at minus 130 where it's sitting now. Dylan Cease has been a stud for the White Sox, and Archer he'll give you 4 or 5 strong innings. This is his first start back off the IL. I just think the White Sox are a team that you're going to have to watch in the second half. And if you get them at a decent price, I think you jump on them. So even on the road, where they have played better baseball on the road this year. Anyway, long story short, White Sox money line might be the best play of the day.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'll echo Brian's sentiments on that. White Sox, decent price. Got Dylan Cease on the mound. They should win this one. Also, like the Mets Cubs under. That was actually supposed to be a premium play, but I forgot about putting it in, so I'm just going to give it out as a free pick. You know, Cubs can't hit lefties. Cubs can't hit righties. Cubs just can't hit. And I think Adrian Sampson should do just well enough, for, to hold them Mets bats down. So I like the under in this one.
Cubs no outs runner on third yesterday in top of the 10th inning or bottom of the 10th inning, and Adam Ottavino shuts him down. Strikes out the side.
Story of my
That is when things are running bad. Thing about Adam Ottavino, when he misses the plate, man, does he miss the plate. You figure he's going to probably throw one to the screen, in that situation. Anyways, Al Ninos, what do you? Oh, also, I will say that umpiring game 1 of the Mets Cubs yesterday, worst strike zone I've ever seen. I mean, I say these things, from time to time, but I have to say this was the worst I've ever seen. Was yesterday in that early Mets Cubs game. It was just amazing to me, the balls and strikes, the calling. Of course, David Ross ejected early in that one. It was like I can't believe that both managers weren't ejected. It was ridiculous. I mean, it's like, what are we even watching? Al Ninos, what were we watching?
Sorry, I was trying to get the dog out the room. Yeah, but I'm all for. I've been for automated strike zones for the longest time.
I don't like the automated strike zone. I just say if a guy calls balls and strikes like that, you fire him.
No, but it's probably one of the hardest things to do in officiating all sports.
They've been doing it for a long time. I don't believe in the box strike zone. I don't believe in that, but I think it's got to be somewhat close.
I don't know. I think these guys, honestly, they're way too good, and it's not fair for them to be making the right decision on a 100-mile-an-hour pitch and then getting the wrong outcome for it. I mean, sure, the guys that are getting paid $440 million a year might not need to worry about it so much because they'll get their next at bat, but that kind of stuff can cost someone's career. I mean, if you come up and you're a prospect or something, you take a good ball and you're called on a strikeout, that can affect someone pretty bad. I mean, it happens repeatedly too. I mean,
it happened yesterday.
And not only that, but it can also affect the outcome of the games, obviously too, which is maybe more important to us. And again, I just think when you make the right decision like that, you got to be rewarded for it and not leave it up to an umpire and how he's feeling, whether he wants to go home early or if he thought it was in the strike.
Game 1 of a doubleheader. He wasn't going anywhere. Just I don't know what was going on. Anyways, what do you like in these games?
Yeah, sorry. A couple of different angles, but I think my best bet will probably have to be on the White Sox here. Pretty tough matchup, but again, I do think they have the edge on the mound with Dylan Cease. Archer hasn't been too bad lately, but he hasn't been going too deep into games either, and gonna be his first start of the month. So I like Cease and the White Sox in this spot.
I like the over in that Astros-A's game with Adam Oller pitching. I'll tell you that much.
I like that one.
I like the Yerfie. I like the Yerfie in that one. Anyways, go to our next set of games. Steven Matz back on the mound here for the Cardinals up against the Reds. We've got the Rockies, Austin Gomber against the Pirates, who can't beat the Rockies to save their life. Then you got Texas against Seattle, Glenn Otto and Chris Flexen. The Mariners just finding a way. I mean, once again, it's like 13 games in a row, 13 heroes, right? Ruflo, what's up?
Sorry to say, but I will probably have to cut out after this one. I got to run to the checkout in 8 minutes. But I will say I like the the Cincinnati Reds and St. Louis Cardinals over the total of 8.5. I think Graham Ashcraft, he's pitching well. He's capable of holding down the Cards here, but I think this is just one of those games that ends up being 5-4 once the bullpens have their way here. So give me the over 8.5 in that one. And I like this. I lean towards the Seattle Mariner. It would have been a premium play for me, but I'm just a little bit concerned about Chris Flexen pitching on 3 days rest. But the way the Mariners are playing right now, hard not to go with them, especially with Glenn Otto on the other side. So
you don't think the Mariners treat this sort of like a bullpen game?
They could. I
believe they will.
Yeah, probably. But I still think just the way the Mariners are playing, and even if it's more of a fade for me of Glenn Otto than anything else, it's still, you kind of got to ride it till the wheels fall off.
Anything on San Francisco, Milwaukee, or San Diego, Arizona, since you're leaving? Well, he cut out anyway. Al, what do you got to say? He left. They cut out his internet. See you, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with any of these games, but with a gun to my head, I'm going to take the home underdog Texas Rangers with Glenn Otto. I don't like to necessarily fade Flexen in Seattle in this situation, but between these of the 6 options in these 3 games, that's probably the best choice for me. So we'll take Texas plus $1.20.
Ron Romanelli.
Yeah, this is a tough part of the card. I think I would lean towards the Cardinals laying the run line. Graham Ashcraft really struggling. 17 hits allowed his last 2 outings. Steven Matz was struggling when he was on the mound his first start since May 22nd, but the Reds haven't done very well against lefties, really, or righties, and I do worry quite a bit about that Reds bullpen in this game. So even though the Reds make it on the board a few times here, I think the Cardinals score plenty more. So I lean towards the over, but I like the Cardinals on the run line.
Steven Matz. Brian?
I don't know what's going on with my good buddy Romanelli here. I'm a Romanelliac, but I would never lay that with Steven Matz on the mound. I mean, long term, this guy's not a good pitcher. Graham Ashcraft, that's been giving up singles.
You like wait, pro Matz?
I think long term he's actually a solid pitcher. When you look at his xFIP at 2.99, I think the different, mister. But go ahead.
All right. I can't get into the Cardinals here. I think the Reds on the run line is where you want to be at. I think it's a 1-run game that the Reds could steal in this one. It's just Steven Matz. Maybe it's a price that's getting me into the Reds here because I just don't see Steven Matz at minus 170. And I love what Big Al said earlier on the Rangers also. But yeah, for me, it's the Reds plus 1.5.
Reds hit lefties significantly better than they hit righties. Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna run with the Rockies in this one. Don't know who the pitcher is for the Pirates, but I don't really think it matters. They can't hit lefties. Austin Gomber, although he hasn't pitched well this season, I expect him to pitch against these guys. Have a solid start. So, I expect whoever they bring out on the mound that the Colorado Rockies could produce some runs against them. So I'll take the Rockies.
El Niños.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Bryce Wilson for the Pirates here. And I got to agree with Jovan. I got to go with the Rockies. I don't know the line, but I think they get the job done here.
Yeah, I can't believe a Flexen goes more than an inning or 2 in this game, to be honest with you, against the Rangers. I can't see it on 3 days rest that he's going to go deep into this game. I think, with it being the All-Star break and, the team having the day off, we're going to see like a playoff style game where it's all hands on deck and you're going to see pretty much everybody out there on the field for the Mariners in this one against the Rangers, whatever it takes to keep it going. The Mariners in, of course, striking position for the postseason here. So they're in, right? If the season ended, they're in. And with the Yankees playing the Red Sox, with the Blue Jays stumbling, with all these things, this is the time. These are the ones that really count. So I expect the Mariners to leave it all out on the field today in that one against the Rangers and do whatever it takes. Not like they're facing Koufax and Glenn Otto either, that's for sure. And I don't care who's pitching for the Pirates; they can't beat the Rockies. They've pretty much have shown us that time and time again. And got to disagree with Romanelli as well. Graham Ashcraft, he's beaten better than this. Those teams. Well, the odd thing is there hasn't been a bench clearing brawl in this series. Anyways, we go to our next set, final set of games for the day, 4:10 start for Padres and the Diamondbacks, and then we've got the Giants and the Brewers. Nice way to end it with Logan Webb and Aaron Ashby. Brewers coming off those losses against in these spots have been straight money. This is like they have been doing it according to the streak. There was one streak I saw this morning on our betting tools that talked about it. Let's see if we could find it off the top of my head here. It's actually the run line, so it's it's minus 167. But anyways, Brewers nerfy. That's all there is in that one. Anyways, Big Al, what do you think?
I'm going to take San Diego with Mike Clevenger here. He's made 39. He's had 39 appearances in daytime and 75 at night, and his ERA has been more than a full run lower in his daytime appearances than in his night, 2.53 to 3.61. He had 2 starts against these Diamondbacks at the end of June, pitched terrific, 1 run over 10 innings with 9 strikeouts and 3 walks. So I'm going to take San Diego minus $1.50.
Ron Romanelli.
Yeah, I like the Giants a lot more when Jason Alexander was the projected starter, but with Ashby in, I lean towards the under. The Giants can hit left-handed pitching, but I do think Ashby is somebody that I think will have a pretty good second half of the season. Logan Webb pitching well overall in 2022, but these are like my least 2 favorite games on the board, so I'll just take a small lean with the under in that Giants-Brewers.
Brian?
Yeah, I agree with Romanelli. These are my least 2 favorite games on the board. If I had to pick one, it would be the under in the Padres and Diamondbacks. I just think Merrill Kelly can go 7, maybe 8 strong for the Diamondbacks, and Clevenger, I think he bounces back from his last start and holds the Diamondbacks to maybe 2 runs or so. I'm going to take the under 7.5.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Arizona first 5, and that's a run line. So you're getting a half a run. Yeah, Merrill Kelly, he's pitched well his last 3 starts, and in his last 16 innings versus the Padres, he's only given up 1 run. So I'm gonna roll with that. I just think that it'll be either be a tie game or maybe Arizona will be up by the end of 5. So.
Al Ninos.
Yeah, maybe at the end of 5, but I'll look at the full game here and I'll go Padres -1 for me. I think they're the better team even without Tatis, and Clevenger's been pitching pretty well.
I like the Brewers against the Giants. Just think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think they squeak one out. Anyways, you go to our parlay section. Big Al, you parlaying them up today? Celebrate the All-Star break.
Only because I hate being
8-team lock.
only because I hate being a killjoy, so I'll do parlays. Both run line plays: Toronto -1.5 and the Red Sox +1.5. Or if you want to have, the Red Sox +1.5. Or if you want to have more fun, take Toronto -330 and the Red Sox +$1.60.
Romanelli.
Yeah, I had a comment in the live chat. Somebody wondered why I changed from the over to the under. And when there's a pitching change, it completely changes my opinion. So Jason Alexander, not good. Aaron Ashby, good. There you go. But Atlanta Braves -2.5 and the St. Louis Cardinals -1.5. 2-team parlay.
Right.
For me, I'm going to go with 2 teams I'm going to keep an eye on in the second half. The Chicago White Sox on the money line, Baltimore Orioles money line in the 2-team parlay.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with this 6-teamer. Red Sox, Baltimore Orioles, White Sox, Mets, Cubs under, Colorado, Arizona, Diamondbacks first 5. Also gonna round robin it all the way through. So whatever combination is gonna be, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of money out there, but I think it comes in.
I'm going to take the Royals, parlay it up with the Guardians and the Braves. right out of the gate. Those three. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. We got a few days off. I'll still be here in the morning. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but we'll figure something out. Maybe talk some college football, some NFL football, other monkey business nonsense. Everyone welcome to join us.
Go through the Hurricane schedule and count how many losses they get this year. That's what we should do.
We can do that. I mean, we have the number 1 recruiting class in the country this year, so we'll see.
Let me tell you who's not going to be winning a lot of games, and I think that's my Florida Gators. Unfortunately,
I think they're in big trouble. Jump off the bandwagon yet.
I'm not even a Gator fan to begin with, but I could just tell you the feeling in Gainesville is not very good.
Well, you do have a Sun Belt head coach, so
yeah. Oh boy,
that's always a good sign.
And we got Utah in week 1. We're going to get killed in our own stadium.
I'll tell you, sometimes those coaches, bringing in those coaches, believe me, Jimmy Johnson was not a popular hire in Miami when they brought him in. He was not a popular hire. He was an outsider, and it was, no way. So, I mean, it happened.
I don't mind the Napier hire, but we'll have to see.
Dennis Erickson, not a popular hire in Miami. 2 national championships.
I like the basketball hire better than the football hire. Todd Golden.
Some guys are better in certain areas of the country.
He's a nerd like me.
See what happens. Anyways, if the Gators are insignificant in college sports, it's a good day. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. And enjoy the All-Star break. And like I said, we'll be here still every morning. But, yeah, next weekend, same time, same channel.